Hello everyone, this is Paul Paquin at Golden Financial Services. Today we're going to talk about private student loans and the complexity of these loans, which make it very hard for these debt collection agencies to prove the validity and verify these debts as legally collectible debts. It's very difficult for the collection agencies to do this. So private student loan debt, it's not like federal student loans where they originate from the Department of Education. They start with the bank, Chase, Bank of America, RBC, Citizens Bank, Navy Federal Bank. They start with the bank, but they quickly leave the hands of the bank. Shortly after the bank lends you the money, the loan is transferred to an entity called the National Collegiate Funding, LLC. This company has no function aside from hanging on to the loan until it's ultimately transferred into trust. And they don't collect your private student loan money, nor do they take any action whatsoever. They merely take the loans and deposit them in a trust. In technical terms, this is called the depositor. So who collects the money? Someone has to collect the money on private student loan debt, right? It's not the bank. It's not the depositor. It's actually the servicer. Sallie Mae, Navient, whoever's servicing your loan, the servicer collects the money. In return for this work, the servicer gets paid by the trust that owns the loans. National Collegiate Student Loan Trust is one of many trust accounts. There are more than just one. There are many. For example, there's National Collegiate Trust Loan Trust 2007-3. There's National Collegiate Student Loan Trust 2007-2. Each separate trust holds a bucket of private student loan debts that have worked their way from the originator to the depositor. In fact, National Collegiate Student Loan Trust 2007-3 holds private student loan debt with a face value of more than $1.4 trillion. And then what happens to the loan once they're in trust? Once the loans are safely in the hands of the trust, bonds are sold to investors. Each bond that is received, from trust, based on the amount of money that comes in from private student loan borrowers, that's what it's based on. The greater the percent of loans in the trust that paid, the better the return on investment for the investors. So if too many loans are in default, the investors don't make very much money. And then how trust investors minimize their risk, the most important and most interesting way is there's a guarantee. Until 2008, these loan guarantees were handled primarily by the Education Resources Institute, a nonprofit organization that ended up going into bankruptcy. So who owns your loan?
And folks, we are going to be discussing this on part 2. So tune in to Golden Financial Services YouTube and you will find part 2 coming real soon.